Well, the 2012 Georgia peanut harvest is nearing completion. And on November 4th, we visited on the farm of Tim Burch in Baker County. He said these peanuts were planted on May 15th, a little later than normal, but he says they're coming out exceptionally well.
Actually, my later planted crop this year seems to have more of a one crop situation. Anyway, these are grading higher than my earlier planted peanuts this year. We planted, for the most part, the last few years, naturally it's been 06Gs. These we're harvesting right now are Tiff Guard. I thought about it, it was late in the year. This is a real light sandy land right here, and we have trouble making adequate vines. And I planted Tiff Guard, and they are doing quite well. This was one of those places where that variety pays off. It's a hardy plant, and it did a lot better in this deep sand than the 06G would have, I believe. Typically, I try to be through by the 15th of May, and like I say, these were around the 30th of May. It was right at the end of the month when we planted these. But the weather held out, the late rains benefited this crop. I made the bulk of them probably with rainfall this time.
Tim said this is one of those years that peanut farmers dream about. One of those years where you just have everything working right.
We had worm pressure, was moderate. It never did reach threshold where we had to treat. I haven't seen much soil-borne insect damage this year. We handled the leaf spot and white mold. We were able to suppress it with the fungicides are available, and didn't have a problem with them this year. Disease and insects on my peanuts were light this year.
Well, when it comes time to market these peanuts, Tim is a member of the American Peanut Growers Group. That's a grower-owned sheller operation in Donaldsonville, Georgia.
We'll know at the end of the year, and by the end of the year I mean next September, what I got for this crop. You know, we're expecting it to be, the price is going to be depressed naturally with such a big crop, but I'm going to have to average the last 2 years we rang a bell in our group with being able to market peanuts at a high price, and I'm going to have to look at a 3-year average. My overall average is going to be the best it's ever been, because with dry land this year we had good yields. I had 5,000 pound dry land, and I've just not ever done that before.
What do you think this field will
This field is going to do right at 6,000 pounds. We had 2 of the top yielders were in Baker County, and I have talked to both of them, and their yields are slightly off. Our premier producers probably made a little less peanuts this year, but on average it's going to be the best crop for most farmers in the county.
Tim Burch says the grower-funded peanut research projects done through the checkoff dollars through the Georgia Peanut Commission have certainly had a tremendous influence on where peanuts are today.
These varieties that I've planted here is the main thing that the farmer-funded research has benefited me. You know, naturally we fund fungicide trials and all, but that's more in the hands of chemical companies. But our varieties, they have well paid for my checkoff dollar. Just on yield. I suspect we'll plant less peanuts next year, but they'll still be here. There'll be a demand for peanuts, I'm sure. And we don't need to overproduce. We don't ever need to plant this big a crop unless we get consumption way up. That's the problem. High peanuts aren't good for the peanut industry, just like high cotton wasn't good for the cotton industry. We need a good, profitable price year in and year out.